Good morning, dear students. Today we will discuss about beta-lactam antibiotics, penicillins. Today we will discuss about penicillins. What are beta-lactam antibiotics? Beta-lactam antibiotics are those antibiotics which are having beta-lactam ring, which is a common structure for all beta-lactam antibiotics, which include penicillin, cephalosporins, monobactam, and carbapenem. Today we will discuss about penicillin. Penicillin is the first antibiotic which was discovered. Sir Alexander Fleming in 1928, when he was working on agar media, he noticed that there is certain zone of clear area around invading fungus on agar media. And he worked on the extract of it and identified as penicillin. Then after extensive work of Chain and Florey identified that it is effective against gram-positive organisms, and Sir Alexander Fleming, Florey and Chain awarded with Nobel Prize in 1945. Penicillin nucleus is responsible for its biological activity. Active moiety of penicillin is 6-amino-penicillinic acid, which consists of beta-lactam ring with NH2 group at position 6 and attached to thiazolidine ring. Now, side chain of natural penicillin is benzyl ring, while that of semi-synthetic penicillins are other than benzyl ring. This side chain will determine the acid stability and antimicrobial spectrum of penicillin. Beta-lactam ring is hydrolyzed by beta-lactamase enzyme, which is produced by organisms. Beta-lactam ring is also hydrolyzed by gastric acid and form penicillinic acid. This penicillinic acid is having less antibacterial activity, but which is responsible for more risk of hypersensitivity reaction. Before talking about mechanism of action, we will discuss about cell wall production in bacterium. Transpeptidation is the process which is important for cell wall production in bacteria, and peptidoglycan layer is important component of the cell wall. Now, this peptidoglycan is parallel glycan which is polysaccharide in nature which is cross-linked by peptide chain. This glycan chain composed of N-acetylmuramic acid and acetyl glucosamine in repeated manner. The pentapeptide chain is linked with N-acetylmuramic acid and cross-lined with other peptide chain via pentaglycine bridge, which extend from L-lysine of one residue of D-alanine of other peptide chain. This cross-bridging between peptidoglycan layer provides strength to bacterial cell wall. This process of cross-bridging is transpeptidation, and it is catalyzed by penicillin binding protein, which is transmembrane enzyme present in bacteria. This peptidoglycan layer provides strength to the bacterium cell and which provides strength to bacteria to sustain from surrounding environment. Penicillin binds to penicillin binding proteins and inactivate transpeptidation process. This will lead to inhibition of bacterial cell wall synthesis, and hence cross-linking of peptides will be disturbed and mucosaccharide chain will be inhibited. Hence, imperfect cell wall synthesis will be there that leads to osmotic drive from outside to the bacterium cell, and hence cell of the bacteria will swell and causing it to burst. This cell wall synthesis will take place in multiplying phase, and hence penicillin is working on multiplying phase. Now, there is a basic difference between gram positive and gram negative There is thick peptidoglycan layer outside the cell membrane in gram-positive bacteria, while in gram-negative bacteria, there is a thin peptidoglycan layer in between inner cell membrane and outer membrane containing porins. So, thus porins are there in outer membrane of the gram-negative bacteria. Thus, penicillins are basically active against gram-positive organisms because in gram-negative organism there is a sandwich peptidoglycan layer between the two cell wall membrane, and hence penicillins cannot penetrate and bind to the penicillin binding protein. But some of the penicillins like ampicillin and amoxicillin, which are having hydrophilic characteristics and which can rapidly diffuse through the porine channels, and it is effective against gram-negative organisms except in Pseudomonas aeruginosa, because Pseudomonas doesn't have permeable porine channels. Penicillins are having bactericidal effect, which effect is particularly in multiplying phase and having time dependent killing effect. That means concentration above minimum inhibitory concentration during dosing interval is important for penicillin's action, and penicillins are mainly effective against gram-positive bacteria except those penicillins which can penetrate through the porins of gram-negative bacteria. Classification of penicillins are differently given in different textbooks. Classification of penicillin can be natural penicillin and semisynthetic penicillin. Other classifications can be based on their spectrum of activity, can be narrow spectrum, can be extended spectrum. Narrow spectrum penicillins can be penicillin G and penicillin V, while extended spectrum penicillin can be aminopenicillins, carboxypenicillins, and iridopenicillins. Aminopenicillins can be ampicillin, vancomycin, talampicillin, amoxicillin. Vancomycin and talampicillin are prodrug. Carboxypenicillins include carbapenicillin and ticarcillin. Iridopenicillin can be piperacillin, methicillin, and azelocillin. When acid stability is important to decide the route of administration, and acid stable extended spectrum acid stable penicillins are aminopenicillins, while acid labile are carboxypenicillins and iridopenicillins. Further classification include beta-lactamase sensitive penicillins and beta-lactamase resistant penicillin. So penicillin V is acid stable and beta-lactamase sensitive, while acid resistant beta-lactamase sensitive penicillins are penicillin G, procaine penicillin, and benzathine penicillin. While beta-lactamase resistant penicillin, they are acid stable cloxacillin, dicloxacillin, and flucloxacillin. Acid resistant beta-lactamase resistant penicillin are methicillin and nafcillin. Now, beta-lactamase sensitive penicillin means beta-lactamase this penicillin are not effective against the organisms which are producing beta-lactamase enzyme, while beta-lactamase resistant penicillin, they are effective against the organisms which are producing beta-lactamase enzyme. Now, natural penicillin G or benzyl penicillin is acid labile and hydrolyzed by gastric acid, and hence it is given via parenteral route. There are different preparations of penicillin G, which includes procaine penicillin G, benzathine penicillin. Advantage of this penicillin are they are having delayed onset of action, but they are having prolonged duration of action. But the disadvantage is it is not useful for acute infections because onset of action is delayed. But at the same time, because of longer duration of action, the administration is frequency of administration is less, and hence patient compliance is better with these preparations. Semisynthetic penicillin include acid-resistant penicillin, that is penicillin V, penicillin is resistant penicillin, methicillin and cloxacillin, and extended spectrum penicillin. Antimicrobial spectrum of narrow spectrum beta-lactam sensitive penicillin, that is penicillin G and penicillin V, they are effective against gram-positive cocci like streptococci, pneumococci, gonococci and meningococci also. It is also effective against Corynebacterium diphtheria, Corynebacterium tetani, Listeria monocytogenes, Treponema pallidum, Actinomyces and Leptospira. Narrow spectrum beta-lactam resistant penicillin, they are having similar antimicrobial spectrum to penicillin G. In addition to that, it is also effective against beta-lactamase producing staphylococci, and hence it is also known as the anti-staphylococcus penicillin. Extended spectrum penicillins, aminopenicillins, they are having similar antimicrobial spectrum as penicillin G. In addition to that, aminopenicillins, they can cross the porins which are present on gram-negative bacteria cell membrane, and hence they are effective against gram-negative bacteria like Bordetella pertussis, Haemophilus influenza, E. coli, Salmonella typhi, Proteus mirabilis, Shigella, etc. But they are not effective against Pseudomonas aeruginosa because Pseudomonas doesn't have porins in their cell membrane. Additionally, ampicillin is effective on Listeria monocytogenes and amoxicillin is effective against Helicobacter pylori. And that's why amoxicillin is a part of triple regime of H. pylori therapy. While carboxypenicillin and iridopenicillin, they are having similar effect as penicillin G, and additionally they are effective against Pseudomonas aeruginosa, and hence they are also known as anti-pseudomonal agents. They are also having effect against indole positive protease. Bacterial resistance is seen with beta-lactam antibiotic like penicillin. The main mechanisms are beta-lactamase, altered penicillin binding proteins, decrease in permeability and efflux mechanism. Staphylococcus aureus, H. influenza, E. coli and gonococci produces beta-lactamase enzyme which can hydrolyze penicillin and inactivate penicillin. While mutation of penicillin binding protein, particularly observed with Streptococci pneumoniae, Enterococcus and methicillin resistant Staph aureus, which lead to reduced affinity to penicillin and hence decreases effect of penicillin. Gram-negative organisms are having bilayer, peptidoglycan layer is sandwiched within the two layers and there is a decrease in permeability to penicillin. So they are naturally resistant to penicillin except those penicillins which are having porins and hydrophilic characteristics. So they can cross through the porins and reach to the site of action. While efflux mechanism is seen with Salmonella typhi, which causes efflux of naphthalene and reduces effect of naphthalene. Pharmacokinetics of penicillin group. Penicillin G is acid labile and destroyed by gastric acid, so it is given parenterally. While penicillin V, ampicillin and amoxicillin, they are stable, acid stable and can be absorbed better by oral route. Food will reduces absorption of penicillin V and ampicillin, but there is no effect of food on amoxicillin. They are widely distributed in the body, but lesser in eye, CSF and aqueous cavity. During inflammation of meninges, penicillin G, penicillin V and ampicillin can cross and attain the concentration in CSF and useful in meningitis. But amoxicillin cannot attain the higher concentration during inflammation of meninges, and hence amoxicillin is not useful for meningitis. Half-life of penicillin G is 30 minutes while that of penicillin V around 30 to 60 minutes and 2 hours for ampicillin and amoxicillin. Major route of elimination of all the penicillins are renal route. Penicillin G is mainly eliminated by tubular secretion and biliary secretion is observed with ampicillin. G is given parenterally while V is given orally and ampicillin and amoxicillin can be given orally as well as parenterally. Cloxacillin, dicloxacillin and flucloxacillin are acid stable, can be given orally as well as parenterally. Methicillin and nafcillin are acid labile and they are given parenterally only. Cloxacillin, dicloxacillin and flucloxacillin are absorbed better via oral route and food can reduces their absorption. Distribution is similar with all the penicillin, less in distributed widely in the human body fluid but less in eye, CSF and serous cavity. But during inflammation of meninges they can cross and attain the concentration. T half of cloxacillin, dicloxacillin, flucloxacillin, methicillin and nafcillin is around 1 hour. All are eliminated via renal route and nafcillin is having biliary route of elimination. Carbenicillin, piperacillin, piperacillin, methicillin and acetylacillin, they are acid labile and given parenterally. T half is 1 around and eliminated by via renal route. Indanyl ester of carbenicillin is acid resistant and can be given via oral route. Adverse drug reactions of penicillin in general, hypersensitivity reactions, that is rashes, urticaria, angioneuritic edema, serum sickness and anaphylaxis type. Now, hypersensitivity reactions can be seen immediately, can be seen after few hours, can be seen even after 72 hours of the administration. When it is seen immediately, usually it is within 20 minutes and causes anaphylaxis type of reaction which is characterized by urticarial pruritus, wheezing, sneezing, rhinitis, etc. In extreme cases, it may causes angioneuritic edema, hypertensive shock, loss of consciousness and sometimes it may causes death. It can be seen within 72 hours which include rashes, fever, urticaria and very rarely angioneuritic edema. Late reaction with penicillin is seen after 72 hours of administration and manifested as morbilliferum rash, urticaria and erythematous eruptions. Locally, there may be pain and thrombophlebitis when it is given parenterally. Albuminuria and hematuria is seen with methicillin and there may be nephrotoxicity with methicillin and hence it is not preferred nowadays. Hepatic abnormalities are reported with ofloxacin, ofloxacillin and nafcillin. Procaine-penicillin can lead to CNS stimulation and sometimes it may lead to convulsions due to presence of procaine. Jeris-Hexamer reaction is usually seen in syphilitic patients when penicillins are given for the treatment of syphilis, which can be seen even after several hours of first dose of penicillin, and there may be a shivering, fever, myalgia or exacerbation of lesion, and this is because of release of the spirochetes and hence these are the symptoms which may last up to 72 hours. Bleeding is observed with carbenicillin, piperacillin, ticarcillin and high dose of penicillin G, which may be because of antiplatelet action of these penicillins and can be treated with vitamin K. Ampicillin can lead to diarrhea because of incomplete absorption, and that leads to disturbance of flora, which is less with amoxicillin. Activity of penicillin is defined in terms of units, and 1 unit of penicillin is equal to 0.625 microgram of penicillin G. Different preparations of penicillins are available. Penicillin G or benzyl penicillin, that is 0.5 to 5 mega unit intramuscularly or intravenously, 6 hourly given. While repository penicillins include procaine penicillin, fortified procaine penicillin, and benzathine penicillin. These are repository penicillins. They are aqueous suspension of insoluble salts and not given by intravenous route. They are usually given by dip intramuscular route. Procaine penicillin G is the combination of 120 milligram of procaine with 3 lakh unit of penicillin G, and the duration of action is around 1 to 2 days, and injection of this penicillins are painless because of procaine, which is a local anesthetic agent, but at the same time there is an increased risk of allergy. While benzathine penicillin contains 1 mole of ammonium base with 3 mole of penicillin G. Plasma concentration of benzathine penicillin is subtherapeutic and it is longer acting, almost up to 3 weeks. Its cost is less and frequency of administration is 3 weekly, that leads to increased patient compliance. But these repository penicillins are not useful for emergency situations or acute situations because of delayed onset of action. These are the preparations and frequency of administration. Penicillin V is given orally 250 to 500 milligram 6 hourly. Benzyl penicillin 4 to 8 lakh units given parenterally 6 hourly, and fortified benzyl penicillin is given once a day. Therapeutic uses of penicillin G includes upper respiratory tract infections, particularly pharyngitis and otitis media caused by streptococci pyogenes, pneumonitis caused by streptococci pneumoniae, and penicillins are also effective against subacute bacterial endocarditis induced by streptococci viridans and faecalis. In this case, it is given along with gentamicin. Penicillin G is also moderately active against meningitis caused by Listeria monocytogenes, syphilis produced by Pallidum, and it is also effective against Neisseria meningitis produced by Neisseria meningococci, and gonorrhea produced by gonococci. Penicillin G is also effective against diphtheria, tetanus, gas gangrene, and anthrax. It is also effective against abscess like craniofacial, thoracic, abdominal abscess, which is produced by Actinomyces israeli. While prophylactic use of penicillin G includes rheumatic fever and bacterial endocarditis. For rheumatic fever, benzathine penicillin is given 1.2 mega units 4 weekly intramuscularly, and in case of subacute bacterial endocarditis patients and having patient with valvular heart disease undergoing dental surgery, dental procedures, in these patients penicillin G can be given for prophylactically, even amoxicillin can be indicated. There are certain limitations of penicillin G. Penicillin G is less effective against staphylococci. They are destroyed by beta-lactamase or penicillinase enzyme produced by certain organisms. They are having narrow spectrum activity as they are mainly effective against gram-positive organisms, and they are having high risk of hypersensitivity reaction. Another penicillin is penicillin V, which is acid stable, absorbed better and given orally. Similar antimicrobial spectrum as penicillin G, and uses are also similar to penicillin G. They are given 4 times a day because of shorter duration of action. Extended spectrum penicillins are aminopenicillin, carboxypenicillin and uridopenicillins. Carboxypenicillin and uridopenicillin are also known as the anti-pseudomonal penicillin because they are also effective against pseudomonas. Becampenicillin and dalampicillin are a prodrug of ampicillin, and uh, becampenicillin and dalampicillin are having less risk of diarrhea as compared to ampicillin. When we compare ampicillin and amoxicillin, ampicillin bioavailability is reduced by food, but bioavailability of amoxicillin is not affected by food. While in case of meningitis, ampicillin can reach to CNS and hence useful for meningitis, while amoxicillin cannot reaches to the CNS in case of meningitis and hence not effective in meningitis. Ampicillin, as we talked, there is a higher risk of diarrhea, while amoxicillin there is a less risk of diarrhea. Ampicillin, the duration of action is less and hence it is given 4 times a day, while amoxicillin is given 3 times a day. Aminopenicillins are useful for uncomplicated UTI, urinary tract infection caused by E. coli, and it is also considered to be safer in pregnancy. So, UTI in pregnancy, ampicillin can be preferred, or penicillin group is considered to be safer during pregnancy, right? Ampicillin or aminopenicillins are also effective against streptococci infection, which is responsible for bronchitis, sinusitis and otitis media. Aminopenicillins are also useful in meningitis caused by meningococci and listeria, and also useful in gonococci. Aminopenicillin concentration attained in bile in higher amount, hence it is useful in cholecystitis. Additionally, it can be given in typhoid fever, but the dose requirement is higher in typhoid fever and there is a higher risk of bacterial resistance. So, it is less preferred nowadays for the treatment. Amoxicillin is preferred for H. pylori infection and included in triple drug treatment of H. pylori infection. Extended spectrum penicillins like carbenicillin or carboxypenicillins, they are active against Pseudomonas and Proteus, but less active against Salmonella, E. coli and Enterobacter. They are not effective orally and sodium salts are given parenterally. But this sodium salts can cause sodium retention and may precipitate congestive cardiac failure in patients who are having history of cardiac conditions. It also causes bleeding because of antiplatelet effect, and vitamin K is preferred for the treatment. Indications of carbenicillin include pseudomonal infection, particularly in cases of burns, UTI and septicemia. Indanyl ester of carbenicillin is acid stable and hence it is given orally, particularly in the treatment of UTI, urinary tract infection. Ticarcillin is an analog of carbenicillin. It is more effective against Pseudomonas aeruginosa as compared to carbenicillin, and it is also effective against anaerobes. It also diffuses in pleural fluid, CSF and sputum. This ticarcillin is indicated in severe infection and given as intravenous infusion in the dose of 15 to 20 gram per day. 5 gram is diluted in 20 ml and it is given as an intravenously over 3 to 4 minutes every 6 to 8 hours. In less severe infection, it is given 1 to 2 gram 6 hourly intramuscularly, but high sodium content may lead to sodium overload as seen in carpenicillin. Piperacillin, which is more active against Pseudomonas aeruginosa as compared to carpenicillin. It is also effective against Klebsiella, Proteus, Bacteroides fragilae, H. influenza and gonococci. It can cross blood-brain barrier and it is effective against neonatal meningitis, eliminated via kidney, and usually piperacillin is indicated in serious infection mainly due to Pseudomonas aeruginosa and serious infections in neutropenic patients. Azelocillin and mesalocillin, they are having similar action against serious infection as seen with piperacillin. Penicillin is resistant penicillin. Side chain of this penicillins protect the beta-lactam ring and hence these penicillins are resistant to beta-lactamase enzyme produced by certain bacteria and hence this penicillinase resistant penicillins are indicated only in penicillinase forming enzyme infection. They are methicillin and cloxacillin. They are methicillin and cloxacillin like penicillins. These penicillins are particularly effective against Staphylococcus aureus and hence they are known as anti-Staphylococcus penicillin. They are less effective against pneumococci and less sensitive against streptococcal infection. Methicillin is acid labile given parenterally, but it causes nephrotoxicity and reversible interstitial nephritis, hence not preferred nowadays. Cloxacillin is 90% plasma protein bound. It is more active against staphylococci, incompletely absorbed, and it is given orally as well as parenterally. Dicloxacillin and flucloxacillin are similar to cloxacillin, but they are better absorbed as compared to cloxacillin. Blood level is higher and high plasma protein binding. Flucloxacillin is having less plasma protein binding than dicloxacillin. Adverse reactions with flucloxacillin include cholestatic jaundice. Hence, monitoring is required with flucloxacillin. Nafcillin is given parenterally, eliminated via biliary route, and it can cross CSF, and hence nafcillin can be useful in meningitis. These penicillins are effective in staphylococcal infection, which is responsible for skin infections, osteomyelitis, endocarditis or cellulitis. In serious staphylococcal infection, oxacillin and nafcillin are given as intravenous infusion. Amidinopenicillin, they are reverse spectrum penicillin, Macellinum, Vermacellinum, which is a prodrug of Macellinum. They are known as a reverse spectrum penicillin because they don't have activity against gram-positive organisms and hence it is known as a reverse spectrum penicillin. They are having high affinity for penicillin binding proteins in gram-negative bacteria, particularly enterobacteria producing extended spectrum beta-lactamase like Salmonella, Shigella and Klebsiella. They are given parenterally and useful in typhoid fever and urinary tract infection caused by gram-negative bacteria. Beta-lactamase inhibitors. These beta-lactamase inhibitors are useful to inhibit beta-lactamase enzyme, which is produced by many of the gram-positive and negative bacteria. This beta-lactamase enzyme will open the beta-lactam ring and inactivate the penicillins. This beta-lactamase inhibitors will bind to the catalytic site of the enzyme, beta-lactamase enzyme, irreversibly and prevent the hydrolysis of the beta-lactam ring, hence protect the penicillin. As such, they don't have any antibacterial activity, but they retain antibacterial activity of the beta-lactam antibiotics like penicillin. There are three beta-lactamase inhibitors: clavulanic acid, sulbactam and tazobactam. Clavulanic acid is progressive inhibitor of beta-lactamase enzyme. It means it is reversible binding with the enzyme, then after become covalent and irreversible in nature. It is suicide inhibitor, that means after binding with the enzyme it becomes inactivated. It can also penetrate outer layer of the cell wall of gram-negative organisms and reaches to the periplasmic layer and inhibit beta-lactamase enzyme even in gram-negative bacteria. Its pharmacokinetic is matched with amoxicillin and hence available as combination with amoxicillin. In addition to this, clavulanic acid re-establish activity of amoxicillin against beta-lactamase produced by resistant staphylococcus, H. influenza, E. coli, Salmonella, Proteus and Klebsiella. Sulbactam is also progressive inhibitor. It is highly active against certain beta-lactamase, but it is less potent than clavulanic acid. Oral absorption is inconsistent and hence given parenterally. Absorption of sultamicillin tosylate salt is better and can be given orally. Indication of this is in mixed infection. Tazobactam combines with piperacillin due to similar pharmacokinetic properties, and it is used in severe infections like peritonitis, pulmonary infection, urinary tract infection, respiratory tract infection, etc. These are the references which I have used for the preparation of this presentation. Thank you. Happy learning and stay safe.